Welcome to a Gallop TV selection show. Racing takes place at Fairview on the Polytrack Tuesday, the 15th of November. We've got 8 races on the program, and I'll be guiding you through the 8 races, and hopefully you are in the winner's queue with each and every single race. Now, in race number 1, this is where the bipod will begin. It is a maiden plate for the fillies and mares, and you need to get those bipod bets on by 12:50 on the afternoon. At the time of recording, we've got a full field that line up for this race here, and just having a look at the lineup, the favorite here, we do have 2 horses that are fairly close in the market. 16 to 10 about Hazy Crazy Night, and Dreamscape is at around 18 to 10 in the market. It's then 11 to 2 about Baby It's Cold Outside, who's just coming through that blinkers on. Compression mask goes on to this individual, Baby It's Cold Outside. Now, having a look at race number 1, I thought it does lie between number 5 Dreamscape and number 9 Hazy Crazy Night. Perhaps the improvement does lie with horse number 9 Hazy Crazy Night, only having 1 start in Port Elizabeth, and beaten behind Flowers of Nike. Emily Spirit coming through to win from that form line, and that was a horse that did run second. So the form line has worked out, and this was second run after rest now, second run in PE. Richard Fourier aboard, does have a deep draw to contend with over 1200, but should make the natural improvement to be right up there in the firing line. Dreamscape dropping down back in trip to 1200 meters. We'll see whether that does suit this individual. She did run over 1600 last time out when beaten behind Color Coded, and she was beaten 1 3 parts of length. So we'll see how Dreamscape does go. And number 6 Nairobi, I thought this could be the improver from the other horses in the lineup. She's had 3 starts and she's made good improvement lengths wise. Whether she's gonna take to the Polytrack, that's obviously a question mark, but around 13 to 2 in the market. I think she's a horse that just watch her go down to the start, and maybe she's one that you can include into those exactas. Even one should throw into the bipods in the first leg. So in terms of the first leg of the bipod, I'm going to go numbers 5, 6 and 9, and I think you should be safe with those 3 numbers. Now we're going to move along to race number 2 on the program. You need to get those place accumulator bets on by 1 on the afternoon. And race number 2 is a maiden plate over 1600 meters. We do have any scratching in this line. Yep, number 6 Siberian Fox is a scratching, so that's only scratching at the time of recording from this field. And race number 2, as I mentioned, place accumulator gets underway. 8 runners go to post over the 1600 meters, and horse number 1 Copper Nickus, he's your even money favorite. He does return off a lengthy layoff, so just beware with this individual. He certainly could need the run. It's 202 days since that last start. He does come from the hype belt where he was with St. John Gray, and his best race was last time out when second behind MKBC. He's drawn in gate number 2, which is a positive. Samanga Kamalo aboard, and he does get the blinkers as well, so he's got a lot in his favor. It's not the strongest of fields that he does take on, and if he doesn't just need the run, then he's a horse that should take a power of beating. So possibly the best advice that I can give you is just if you're tuning into racing, just listen out for the comments from trainer Gavin Smith and what he has to say about his runner Copernicus, because if this horse doesn't need outing, then he should take a power of beating. If you're looking past him, number 4 Foot Soldier, he's a runner that he's possibly looking for a bit more ground than 1600 meters, but he did run 3rd last time out behind Perfection. He was the 3rd pick in the market behind the 2 principal runners, and he managed to run 3rd. So he could be there or thereabouts. But apart from those runners, it's fairly difficult to single one horse out. So all points to number 1 Copernicus on being fit enough to do himself justice in race number 2. Now we'll move along to race number 3 on the program, and we've got 2 scratchings here. That's of number 1 Bell's First Wave and number 7 Global Gunner. And we left with a field of 9 runners to compete in the opening leg of the pick 6. This is a maiden handicap, so do note that the weights are different in this lineup. They range from 60 kgs all the way down to bottom weight of around 52 kgs. And obviously, if there is an apprentice claiming, then some horses would definitely have lower masses. 1900 meters the distance. 5 past 2 is the time you need to get those pick 6 bets on by. And just having a look at the fixed odds betting, Douglas Devastator has been priced up at around 15 to 10 in the market. Joe Harmon at 7 to 2. It's 4 to 1 about Global Gunner, who has been scratched but unfortunately hasn't been taken off the fixed odds betting sites, and then 10 to 1 about King of Love, so that will certainly be adjusted as Global Gunner was fancied in the market. Now we're looking at this maiden handicap, Douglas Devastator. The one thing that's not in his favor is that he has to give weight away, but he doesn't take on the strongest of fields. 58.5 kgs on the back, second last time out behind Mansuraya. That was on the turf track. He's back on the poly track where he's had 2 starts for 1/3, but it was a well-beaten third. 6 lengths off them behind Grand Destiny. 1900 meters. It's a trip which could certainly seem very, very effective. Obviously, 2000 meters last time out on the turf, 1900 now on the poly track. I think this horse here from the inform Alan Creef, Richard Fourie combination, he should be competitive in this lineup. Joe Herman, he's had his fair share of opportunities, and many people are done with him. 24 starts in the maidens, and he's yet to shed that maiden tag. Frustrating horse to follow from a winning point of view, but he continues to earn for the connections. And then apart from those runners, a horse like number 8, King of Love, 7 runs on the poly track. This is where his best races have been run. He was 4th last time out behind Heathcliff over 1600 meters. The distance, whether he's going to be effective over it, that is a question mark, as he has only been effective over 1600. But with Rachel Vennicker aboard, she claims 1.5 kg, so 53 kgs on the back. He could certainly enjoy that, and Rachel Vennicker could get the best out of him. We've seen her be successful in PE over the past couple of weeks, and King of Love is a horse that we could see being effective here. Dreamstar, fully taken on the boys, not an easy task. She's got a plum draw, but she's one that probably needs to pick up her feet on recent form in order to be competitive. And then this horse Step Dance. Now, he's been a horse that he's been a bit difficult to catch. 53 kgs on the back. I think watch out. This could be the lurker in the pack at 16-1 in the market. Alan Creef, Charles Indlovu teaming up. He's certainly a horse that I'll throw into the first leg of the pick 6. But it does look to be a difficult start if you aren't with number 2, Douglas Devastator. And looking past him, quite a few horses need to be included. Now, race number 4 on the program, 14:40 is the time you need to get those bets on for jackpot 1. This is a fillies and mares 90 handicap, and it's going to be around over 1200 meters. 14:40, jackpot 1 gets underway, and I thought that this horse here, in the form of Civil Rights, was very harshly treated by the handicappers. The handicapper held no punches when he gave this horse 5 points for winning last start. What has to be taken into consideration is that she was weighted to turn the form around with the favourite, and she was weighted to win the race. She was the best weighted horse in this fillies and mares 95 handicap heading into the lineup, and JP van der Merwe, he gave her every opportunity to win the race, and she got over the line. It's not that she won by 3 lengths, she won by 0.1 of a length, so she just got home and she was penalised 5 points. So I think that's a bit harsh on the handicapper side. And she's been given a mark of 88. Whether that's going to see her being effective here once again, I'm not sure. 1200 meters, the question mark for me. If this was over the 1000 meters trip, I'd be confident that she'd go well once again. But the 1200 is a slight question mark for me. But nonetheless, she's a horse that comes from the informed Gavin Smith yard, and one that has to be included into the mix. JP van der Merwe aboard once again. Redberry, that's your favorite in the lineup. She's distance suited. She'll enjoy a hot tempo one in the race, and I think that she'll certainly get that, and the race could plan out perfectly for the Alan Creef and Richard Fourie combination. She ran behind Peach Daiquiri last time out. That form line has been franked. Peach Daiquiri coming through to win once again. Ekoria has run second to Peach Daiquiri as well. So form line working out nicely, and Redberry could certainly be competitive in this lineup. She has to find a bit on Soundcheck, who is a stable companion, and Soundcheck has been priced up at around 8-1 in the market. But Richard Fourie, he's aboard. He's aboard the bottom one, that's Redberry. But I'd include Soundcheck. She's a horse that has been dropping in the rating. She's on a mark of 94. She loves the poly track. 3 runs for 2 victories. And she's neatly drawn in gate number 2 with T. Gould aboard. And he is a jockey that has won aboard this individual before. Miss Nibbles is a horse that you can include into the mix as well. Samango Kumalo aboard. And I think between those horses, you should get through. Maybe even include number 5, Kiss of Life. So let me give those numbers to you. 1, 2, 4, 5 and 7. I think with those 5 numbers you should be safe, and if you're looking to possibly narrow your selections, then I'd maybe leave out number 4, Civil Rights, over this 1200 meter trip, and just go with 4 horses in race number 4. But the first choice would be number 7, Redberry, followed by Soundcheck. So Alan Creef runners, I'm hoping that they could finish first and second in race number 4. Now we'll move along to race number 5, which is a fillies and mares 74 handicap, 1200 meters the distance. And you need to get those jackpot 2 bets on by 3 on the afternoon. Ancestral Prayer is your 16 to 10 favorite, and she's a horse. Alan Creef, Richard Fourie teaming up. They could certainly have a big day come Tuesday at Fairview. This horse has had 2 starts on the poly track for a second and a fourth. She did run fourth last time out behind Pam's Princess, doing her best work late on in the day. And if they go quick in the race, it will play into the hands of Ancestral Prayer. She's a horse that enjoys a decent tempo, and she enjoys something to aim at late on in the day. In terms of the distance, 1200 meters on the sharper side for her. If this was over 1600, I think she'd possibly be a lot shorter in the market. But nonetheless, she must have every opportunity. This horse, Princess Debs, Loom Kotwa, back aboard. He's 1 from 1. He'll be looking to remain unbeaten, and she looks to be a nice horse here for the Duncan McKenzie yard. She's a horse that is already a 3-time winner from 8 starts, and she's taken on horses that have had a fair share of chances in these handicaps. So I'm going to be with her, Princess Debs, at around 9 to 2 in the market. I think she's a horse that will win a fair share of races, and especially with Louis back aboard, there's quite a bit of confidence there with his 4-year-old daughter of Admiral Kitten going well over this 1200 meter trip. So that will be the each way play for me in race number 5 on the program, and a horse that I'll certainly take my chances and banker in the place accumulator. Now moving along to race number 6, 1540 is the time you need to get those bets on. Fillies and Mares 80 handicap, 1400 meters the trip. And in this lineup here, favorite is Gallop at 13 to 10. She's got a shoulder top weight of 62 kgs, which isn't an easy task. It's 7 to 2 about Twice to Heaven, Crackling Rose at 9 to 2, and then it's 10 to 1 and better bar those. Now, just having a look at Gallop, she absolutely loves the 1400 meter trip. I thought it was a cracking run first up in PE when running behind And We Danced, who's a runner that's banging form from the Sharon Cotson yard. And this horse here, 1 run on the poly track down in KwaZulu-Natal and 1 win. So she's a horse that will be looking to remain unbeaten on a mark of 84. And she's one that could certainly do well over in PE. She could give the Wilkebos a fair share of winners. So she's one that has to be given huge respect to. The horse that is also fancied in the market, just having a look at, that's number 7, Twice to Heaven. Winner on the poly track. Over the course and distance, she has run 1 second. And Twice to Heaven, she's a horse that could certainly run well here. But just having a look at Gallop, she does look to be the one that they all have to beat despite top weight. And I'll be with her. Richard Fourie, Alan Creef, as I mentioned earlier on, big day ahead for them. So watch out for that combination. And if you're a Richard Fourie fan, well, he's putting home the winners left, right and centre. We'll keep a very close eye on him, how he does go on Tuesday over at Fairview. Now moving along to race number 7, it's a MR80 handicap, 1600 meters the distance, and this is the penultimate race on the program. 10 past 4 is the time you need to get involved. Richard Fourie, Alan Creef, they top the boards here with Ushuaia, and this horse is at 3 to 1. It's 7 to 2 about Imshlabeni and 11 to 2 and better bar those. Now Ushuaia, I'm not convinced that he's a poly track horse. I think the turf track suits him with a longer running. He needs some time to unwind, so I'm willing to take him on the poly track, especially that he's drawn out in gate number 10. This horse, Gavel Strike, is one that continues to keep me interested. 1600 meters, he's a poly horse. That is what you have to take note of. Kelly Mitchley is the trainer, and he's yet to do himself justice on the Fairview poly track. But I think from draw 3, and priced up at 16 to 1 in the market, this is the roughie on the day for me. 16 to 1, he's a horse that is on a mark of 75 now. Last time out, he made up positions here to run 5th, beaten 5 lengths behind Slings and Arrow. Looked to be a competitive event at 16 to 1 in the market. That's certainly a price that I think it's worth an each way play. He's a win over the distance, and he'll be the choice in race number 7. Moving along to race number 8 on the program, the final race at Fairview. This is a classified stakes over 1600 meters. Favorite in this lineup is horse number 9, Dammy. 3 to 1 in the market. Richard Fourie, Alan Creef teaming up. No surprises there. 3-year-old son of Master of My Fate. He ran 3rd last time out behind Cool Runnings over 1300 meters. He steps up now in trip to 1600 meters. He's got a plum draw with just 54 kgs on the back. He's on a mark of 72. And this horse here, if we just having a look at the best weighted column, he's a horse that has a race rating of 70. So he's not badly in this lineup here. And one that I think will certainly run well here. Just having a look at the balance of runners, the best weighted horse is Manera. That is the mare taking on the boys. She absolutely loves the course and distance. She's got a deep draw to overcome, but she runs on very powerfully in the closing stages of the race. And having a look at Manera's price, 5-1 in the market, I think that she's a horse that has to be given huge respect here at around 5-1 with Chase Mojan aboard. The only negative would be the draw, but as I mentioned, she does run on powerfully. And then past that, this horse Opera Swing, she's another runner that does run on strongly. Shannon Devoy, this horse did win. If we go quite some way back in her form, on the 8th of July, she did win when Shannon Devoy was aboard her, winning over 1900 meters. Perhaps 1600 is on the sharper side, but she'll be one at 12-1 in the market. That will keep the guys interested, and me especially. So Manera, Opera Swing, those will be the top 2 selections for me, followed by number 9, Dammy. And I think those 3 numbers in terms of the place accumulators should be good enough to see you through. But apart from those runners, you could include a number of runners in this classified stakes. Hopefully, you are in the winner's queue after race number 8 at Fairview. Hopefully, I've managed to guide you in the right direction for all 8 races. It does look to be a tricky card, but the combination to follow, Alan Krief and Richard Fourie. All the best, guys, and happy punting.